We've been doing studying highly collaborative win-win relationships for a long time. Really, our research started in 2003. And one of my very first case studies was Procter & Gamble and Jones Lang LaSalle. They all talked about cultural fit and trust being essential. And so it got us thinking, well, is there a way to measure trust in relationships? If it's so important, why can't we study if you know you have it? Like, people think, oh, we have trust or we don't have trust, but they couldn't put their fingerprint on it. And we wanted to create an instrument, a survey instrument that would help people quantify the levels of trust they had, and more importantly, identify what were the drivers of why they didn't have trust. Because if I can understand why it's not there, now I can do something about it. There are 5 dimensions. The first dimension is focus. So do I understand the goals and objectives of what my organization is and what my supplier's organization is? Because if we don't understand what we're trying to do, you're probably not going to do a good job of doing it, right? So number 1 is focus. Number 2 is communication. How well are we being transparent, open, putting elephants in the room, sharing information that our trading partner needs? And the more we are open and transparent and our partners are getting what they need, the more successful and trusting the relationship. So number 2, communication. Number 3 is the teaming aspect. How well do you work together? So how well are we working together in teaming and meetings, in solving problems together, doing root cause analysis together? So the 4th area that we look at is innovation and change. How well are we driving continuous improvement? How well are we making investments in innovation to achieve the desired outcomes of the buyer? How well do we do change? We've had COVID and all the changes that happened with COVID. We live in a very dynamic world. And so is one party very adaptable and flexible and the other party very rigid? Now, the 5th dimension is what we call trust, but it's really performed a promise. How well do you do what you say? And it's easy to get out of sync when it comes to performing the promise. Not that people don't physically do what they say they're going to do, but often there's a little bit of a disconnect. So combined, these 5 attributes can tell us a lot about our own organization and about our partner's organization. And we create a series of graphs that are quite fascinating to show people how well they're aligned. There is a correlation between transparency, openness, the frequency of your communication. So the more that we're communicating, the better and healthier these relationships are. They know when they don't have a good relationship. Embrace it, understand it, and now fix it. But sometimes we don't realize that we have a bad relationship. Or they think, well, it's a typical relationship. There is a significant gap between what is a good supplier and what's typical when it comes to trust.